You're dangling from a rain-soaked monastery wall in Northumbria. Your fingers are slipping, and right now, you're seriously questioning your life choices. Below, a dozen angry Anglo-Saxons argue over whether to shoot you or just let gravity handle it. Welcome to Viking onboarding. No reload button, no second chances. Decide quickly, farm boy, roars Bjorn Ironhand from the longship rocking in the harbour. Prove your worth, or swim back to Norway. A week ago, you were herding sheep. Now you're trying not to die on foreign soil with one good leg and half a plan. The monastery's golden cross gleams above you, like it's watching this chaos, wondering how peaceful prayer turned into Viking auditions. You leap. Pain screams through your body. But when you hit the mud alive, Bjorn laughs. Congratulations, he says. You've officially survived the first 5 minutes. Turns out Viking life is basically a daily fight against everything. The ropes, the oars, the waves, and especially Bjorn's temper. "And row faster, sheep-hugger," he bellows. Your arms burn like they're being roasted by angry trolls. The crew cheers every time you vomit overboard. They even start a betting pool. Current record, 17 times before Denmark. Halfdan bets you'll die by Wednesday. You'd be offended if you weren't too busy trying not to decorate the sea with your breakfast. Sword training isn't much better. "That's your head, not your sword arm," Halfdan growls after you nearly decapitate yourself. Your body's a constellation of bruises. You could navigate by them if the stars went out. Old Helga, the ship's healer, has 2 cures for everything. Rub it with fermented fish paste, or wait till it falls off. Still, you learn. Your sword no longer feels like a shovel. Your axe no longer feels like it wants to kill you more than the enemy. Even Bjorn notices. "Well, farm boy," he grunts, "maybe you won't die immediately." High praise. From him, that's practically a love confession. Your first real raid hits faster than fear. A quiet coastal village wakes up to longships slicing through the mist. "Remember," Bjorn shouts, "we're here to raid, not redecorate, and try not to die. The paperwork's awful." The beach looks about as friendly as a bear's dentist. Your legs shake. The veteran beside you, Eric One-Eye, grins. Just pretend they're angry sheep. Easy for him to say. Your sheep never carried spears. Then chaos, steel, fire, screams. You swing like your life depends on it. Because it does. When you see a defender sneaking up behind Bjorn, you tackle him, straight into a pile of fish. Bjorn laughs. "Nice move, farm boy. Maybe next time, less fish, more sword." And just like that, you're no longer the recruit. You're the Viking who saved Bjorn Ironhand's hide. Smells like herring, feels like pride. Raiding? Easy. Surviving a Scandinavian winter? That's the real boss fight. The cold bites deeper than a starving wolf. Eric swears by coating his beard in seal fat. "It keeps the ice out," he says proudly, right before a seagull dive-bombs him for lunch. Old Helga laughs so hard she drops her fish paste. Food's running low. Someone offers you a chunk of something unidentifiable. "Eat up," Halfdan grins. "Builds character." You're not sure it builds character. But it's definitely building something. Your first command comes during a disaster. A storm ambushes your fleet off England's coast. Half the ships scatter. Bjorn's knocked out cold by a flying barrel. Now everyone's looking at you. "Farm boy!" Eric yells through the wind. "What's the plan?" You're standing on a deck that's basically a blender with lightning. And you're supposed to lead? You take a breath. "Use the storm! Ride it in! If we die, at least it'll be spectacular!" The crew howls with laughter and terror, the perfect Viking combination. Moments later, the waves fling your ship over the harbor's defenses. You land half sunk, half victorious, and fully insane. They'll remember that. You turned a death sentence into a legend. 20 years blur by. Raids, battles, hangovers, scars. You earn your own ship, a crew that mostly listens, a name that no longer starts with farm boy. Now they call you Storm Rider. Even Eric admits it suits you better than fish tackler. You're leading a raid when you spot it, a young recruit dangling from a monastery wall, as terrified as a chicken at a wolf feast. The crew starts betting again. History repeats itself. "Give him a chance," you tell them. The boy falls, badly, but lives. You pull him up. "Welcome to the Viking life," you say. Lesson 1. The ground's harder than it looks. The men laugh. And for a moment the world feels simple again. Then you see it. Sunlight glinting off arrowheads. Ambush. You shove the recruit aside as the volley flies. Pain explodes through your chest. So much for happy endings. You drop to your knees, blood soaking your furs, watching the battle blur into noise and smoke. The boy you saved is shouting something, trying to help. You wave him off. "I've had worse." You lie. You haven't. The sky darkens. Thunder rolls. Maybe Thor's throwing you a farewell party. Then you see them, the Valkyries, descending from the clouds, their horses made of lightning and storm. They're both beautiful and terrifying. Just like the life you chose, you think of the farm, of the sheep, of that first leap from the monastery wall. What a ridiculous, glorious ride it's been. "The worst part of living as a Viking," you mutter, "is that dying turns out to be the easiest bit."